Saving Grace Church family and friends, Pastor Josh here with an update on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I got two categories of things I want to talk about. One is just the short-term stuff that's happening here pretty soon. The other is kind of the bigger stuff that's happening in 2025. I'm just going to ramble about that for a while, and hopefully you'll see why I'm excited about 2025. First of all, this coming Friday is our Thanksgiving dinner. Just come. All the main stuff will already be here. If you have something to bring, a side or something, that's great. We're not coordinating it all, so if it's all green beans, so be it. If you don't have anything to bring, just come anyway. We want you to be here either way. There'll be about 35 or 40 that I know of here. We'll set up some tables and chairs, and no program. It's informal, and feel free to invite anybody. You don't have to be a part of our church to be a part of this dinner, and especially those who maybe are far from family, maybe don't have anyone to gather with on Thanksgiving. We want them here. We'd love to be around the table with them. So that's this Friday, starting at 4:30 and going until whenever everybody leaves. So this coming Sunday also is when we're going to start our Advent series. We're going to do a deep dive on Isaiah 9, 6, and 7, that great prophecy about the Messiah, and the different names that he has been given and why those are significant. I think it's going to be a very edifying time and very evangelistic. So if you have someone that maybe would be open to coming to church during the Christmas season, we are going to be looking very intently at Jesus and how he is the solution to the human problem. And we're so grateful that God came in the flesh to be with us. That series is going to culminate on Christmas Eve. We're going to do a Christmas Eve service at 4 p.m. We've decided that 4 p.m. works the best, partially because there's a number of our people who would love to do Christmas Eve service with us and then quickly get over to our mother church, South Canyon, for their worship, for their Christmas Eve service at 5 p.m. So we want to accommodate that and allow some people to double dip. We love our mother church. We're so grateful for them. And those that want to double dip, we're going to try to accommodate that and are looking forward to Christmas Eve service at 4 p.m. right here at the building. It'll be a family service, no childcare. It'll just be a warm, encouraging time together. And I'm going to try to present the gospel as clearly as I can. So if you're able to get some people here who need to know about Jesus, Christmas Eve's a good chance, a good opportunity to do that. So now the stuff in 2025. We had a family meeting this past Sunday where we set the course for a lot of stuff in 2025. And I'm really excited about it. First of all, we brought in 3 new members. Really grateful for these members and their willingness to jump in and do a lot of ministry. They've already added so much to our church in just this first week. And I'm excited about how the Lord is building up our church. I also last night met with a couple that's also just finishing up the stages of membership, and Lord willing will be brought into membership in January. And then there's like 5 or 6 more that are behind them that are just waiting for me to have time to meet with them. And so praise God that he is answering our prayer. We've been asking the Lord to strengthen our church, to bring people in who would commit to us and would catch our vision and would help strengthen the ministry of our church. And he's doing that. There's other conversations about baptism. There's lots of good stuff happening. I'm grateful that it seems like the wind of the Spirit is starting to catch our sails a little bit and beginning to move our church forward, and I'm so grateful for that. One thing that we did is vote in a 2025 budget that includes 3 part-time positions. I'm very excited about this, of bringing some people on to help delegate some ministries that I'm doing that I really don't need to be doing. They're a little bit more than what you could normally put on the average volunteer, and so we've opted to set aside some funds to compensate in 3 different areas for people to expand and equip and strengthen the ministry of our church. And so I'm grateful for that and would ask for your prayer that the right people would be stepping into those positions, and then we would begin to form a really good team of ministry. And it's not just Josh and Bree doing a lot of things. We have so many volunteers doing so many things, so I don't want to make it seem like we're doing everything. But the more we can diversify the gifts of the church and the more that we can invest and equip those who would love to do more ministry, we want to do that and not be a bottleneck at the top. So I'm grateful for that. Also, we are making a big push to give a whole lot more to missions and send a lot more of the money that comes into us that we give and just send that right back out the door to do ministry and missions locally and around the world. So we are pushing towards, and we've approved a budget that gives about 17% of our budget of every dollar that comes in is going to go right back out. And I'm hoping that by next year we can get that to 20+%. I really want us to be a generous church with many strategic partnerships locally and around the world. That's just who I try to be as a person, and it's also the kind of church that I want us to be. And I'm grateful for a church that voted in a budget that does just that. So here's just a few things that we are going to do. We're going to continue to support the cooperative program of the Southern Baptists. We benefited from that. We want to continue to be a good partner there. We're going to continue to support the Kellys in Japan. We sent them out in January of 2021, and we want to continue to support the work that they're doing in Japan. We want to continue to support, we voted to continue to support the Weishadels. Sarah is the director of Young Life in Hill City, and her and Richie are such key members of our church. They make so much stuff happen here. We also really appreciate the investment in teenagers down in Hill City, so we're excited to continue to support them. Stephen Matlock, who has done pastoral training with me both at South Canyon and was part of our planting team here at Redeeming Grace. He sensed a call a couple years ago to go to, I'm getting a call. I'm going to cancel that right now. But grateful for Stephen. We're going to continue to support him in the camp ministry that he does up in Alaska. We also are going to continue to support our local association, the Black Hills Area Baptist Association, just 21 churches here in the Black Hills that seek to encourage and strengthen one another. I host a monthly pastor's lunch here as well, just to encourage pastors and to build connective tissue and friendship and cooperation among the churches. Also our Pillar Fellowship. We're going to continue to support that as well as we try to cooperate with churches across the United States and around the world in terms of doing healthy church planting and church revitalization. Grateful for those guys. They've been an encouragement to me. And here's some, so those are the existing ones. Here's some new ones that we're going to be adding. We're going to be adding Jamin Eben with Teaching Truth International. He goes to some of the darkest places in the world and helps train pastors who don't have access to theological training in order that they might lead healthy churches and hold out the true gospel. And so really grateful for him. He grew up at South Canyon. He's been a friend for a while, and I've wanted to go on a trip with him for many years. And so we're just committing to support what he's doing. And I hope I get to go on a trip at some point, maybe some others in our church as well, to go meet some faithful pastors and see if we can't be a blessing to them. Also, we're going to support Aaron Boswell and Trails, a church plant up in Winnipeg, Canada. I've known Aaron for a long time. He actually co-wrote Let the Nations Be Glad. If you've heard that song, he and his brother Matt Boswell wrote that together. So maybe you're familiar with that. And I'm just so grateful for him. And Winnipeg seems like a place that we could do a mission trip to. It's not so crazy far or expensive. And so we're going to support him and the good work that he's doing there. Reed Carr is part of church planting in Rome, Italy. And so we are going to support him. We'd love to have kind of a key European partnership. And I really appreciate Reed and the work that he's doing, and the church that he pastors, just a tiny little church, smaller than our church even, just literally a few meters, he says, from outside the Vatican. And so just very fascinating story. And I'm grateful for him and just the connections that he has even across Europe. And we're also going to support Jeremy Mao down at Manderson Community Church on the reservation, pastoring in one of the most difficult communities in the country, let alone in South Dakota. We've already got some measure of informal partnership. We're close friends, and we want to just invest in the good work that God is doing there. We've also set aside money for a cross-cultural mission trip. Maybe that'll be Winnipeg. Almost certainly we'll do some stuff down in Manderson, but we want to just not be sending money, but sending ourselves, our very hearts and our very selves. And so we're working on that in 2025 and trying to put aside some money for that. We're also going to start supporting Lifeline Christian Services. That's the agency that we adopted Bianca through. They were wonderful, and they're seeking to get deeper roots here in the Rapid City area. Josie Dirksen is the local staff person for that, and we've just so appreciated her and the work that she's doing. And so we're actually going to do a training here in January, just kind of exposing to their ministry and inviting people to be more involved in orphan care here, both here in our own community, but also around the world. And it just makes sense that if James says true religion is caring for widows and orphans in their affliction, that maybe that should be reflected in our budget. We want to be a true religion church. If God says that's high on his priority list in terms of things that people should do in worship to him, well, we thought maybe that makes sense to put that in our budget and actually take advantage of a good partner that would be right here in our community and help strengthen them and benefit from them as well. One of the reasons we picked some of the partners that we did is not just because we believe in the work that they're doing, but we also believe that they're going to be a great influence on us. And so that was critical for me. It's not just the work they're doing, but the influence they have in their area, and the opportunities for partnership kind of through them to other faithful ministries in different parts of the world. But also these particular people, I want them to be influencing our church. I think we will grow in our evangelism, our love for the nations, more by having these particular partners. So there was a very particular matrix by which I wanted to bring before our church, and our church affirmed that. And I'm so grateful and encouraged for how that will benefit us in 2025. We continue to have money set aside for internship and residency. I'd love to get another aspiring pastor to come and either that wants to plant a church. We've actually set aside some money to invest in a church plant if the Lord allowed us to participate or to be a sending church for a church plant. Or in that internship or residency, someone who would like to go and pastor a church that doesn't have a pastor right now. And there's many of those. So I am hoping in 2025 to begin to develop or continue to strengthen just a regular rotation of Redeeming Grace being a great landing point for people that want to come in and do ministry here in the Dakotas. A good place to learn the culture, get your feet wet, understand what ministry is about, and then be slung out to go minister in another place. I do want that to be the case, and we'll just pray that the Lord sends us the right person. In addition to strengthening our own church and raising up elders here, there's much that we want to do. All right, that's enough rambling. You can maybe catch my excitement for 2025. Hopefully this longer video has not been too boring for you, and that you'll join in just praising God for the opportunities that he's put in front of us in 2025. We really just want to be faithful. We want to hear, well done, good and faithful servant. We want to hear people from every tongue, tribe, and nation around the throne. And man, what an honor it would be to go, hey, part of the reason that we're here is because your church was faithful to be generous and to be selfless and to tighten your belts and to do whatever it takes to try to get the gospel to the ends of the earth and to every people group on the planet. And this is our meager little efforts to try to take a step in that direction. And thank you for being a part of it. Thanks for watching this long video. Thanks for praying for us and investing in us. And I hope I'll see you soon. I love you. Have a great Thanksgiving. And I'll see you, I don't know, next couple days or whenever.